The battle for Pennsylvania is upon us. The Pittsburgh Steelers hopping on Lincoln Highway, the unbeaten and rested Philadelphia Eagles waiting to unleash their best in the NFL secondary on Pittsburgh's rookie signal caller.
Throws, intercepted by Slay.
Everything's going right now for Philly.
Let's look at what Kenny Pickett faces this week, a group that's held QBs to a 66 rating, just 5.5 yards per attempt, completion percentage allowed, under 60, 7 touchdowns against 9 INTs.
Deflected and intercepted. C.J. Gardner-Johnson.
Their 3 starting corners, Chauncey Gardner-Johnson, James Bradberry, and Darius Slay, all holding QBs to sub-90 ratings. Bradberry and Slay playing on another planet, their ratings allowed low 30s. Absurd.
These two cornerbacks, James Bradberry, Darius Slay, have dominated play, and they are the difference.
So now that group takes on a QB who just threw 3 INTs last week, has 7 in his 4 games, has the lowest passer rating in the NFL.
Pickett in the middle, he's intercepted, trying to force it in.
Still, Pickett has had stretches that show his potential. He was 32 for 44 for 257 yards last week and was making good throws to get them close. Just has to learn to finish.
And Pickett end zone shot, and Pickett's caught it. Inbounds, yes, touchdown.
Pickett is not only dealing with a dominant secondary, he has to try and complete passes while being hounded by a pass rush, racking up close to 3 sacks a game, 5 players with 2 or more.
Football is loose again. The 5th takeaway for Philadelphia in this game.
Makes it all seem like it's time to really put Najee Harris on display. Steelers, in theory, could move the ball against Philly along the ground successfully. Rush defense is their blind spot so far, 5 yards per carry allowed in 2022.
Ezekiel Elliott will score.
5 yards per carry allowed is pretty bad, so what's the in theory for? Harris, 65 yards versus Miami, 3.8 per run. His high this season, 4.1 a carry. He's been 3.8 or lower in the rest of his games. Harris versus Philadelphia's run D, major X-factor matchup.
Pitch to Najee Harris, ran quickly in the race.
So it seems like the Steelers defense has pressure to keep things close again this week. They did that last week, only 1 TD allowed. I know, though, all those missed INTs.
If they do not win this game, we're going to go back and look at easy interceptions that were dropped.
Their pass defense in 2022 is solid. 8 interceptions, should have been more. Sub-90 rating allowed, completion percentage allowed in the low 60s.
He's intercepted at the 5-yard line. This is Cameron Sutton.
And they've been solid against runners, too. Just 4.1 a carry given up on the ground.
And Mostert on the inside gets stopped. Good penetration.
That brings us to the Jalen Hurts-Miles Sanders duo. The Eagles' offense still very much run dominant. 10 TDs combined for those gents, close to 130 yards a game from the duo.
Sanders on the run to the end zone. Touchdown, Philadelphia.
Hurts and his big 3 pass catchers may not pass often, but when they do, it's Dos Equis, or Trace Equis, actually. A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith, and Dallas Goedert. That trio is a big part of why Philadelphia is one of the few averaging over 12 yards per catch, why they're part of an even smaller group of teams averaging over 8 yards per attempt. 238-yard passing yards per game when you're near the bottom in attempts? That's good stuff.
Throws it to Brown with a step in the secondary. He will score. Hurts reads it, throws it, touchdown, Devontae Smith.
But there is Dallas Goedert all the way up across the 45.
Steelers have more Super Bowl titles. Eagles are up 48-29 with 3 times in the all-time rivalry. Southwest Penn or Southeast Penn or Penn and Teller. Let the predictions flow in the comments section. We let them flow on the screen.